10 things you should not do in France, and that many foreigners do without meaning to be disrespectful. Are you one of them? Not making these 10 faux pas will avoid some uncomfortable situation. Even if I don't think committing them will get you cast away, it will make your life in France or your visit much nicer. Bonjour, I'm Giga from the blog Expat in France. I am a French serial expat and I have experienced culture shock in the UK, Ireland, Luxembourg, Argentina and Brazil. You will find here information about French admin and French culture to adjust to your French life. So let's start. Faux pas number 1. Skipping the first rule of etiquette in France. Saying bonjour. In French, when you enter a small shop, a waiting room or a party in any social context, acknowledging the other person by saying bonjour is the first sign of respect. If you don't, the interaction will start on the wrong foot. Faux pas number 2. Show off your money. It might be okay in nearby Monaco, Luxembourg or maybe Switzerland and still, but for sure not in France. Social status in France is about what you do. In the old days it was how noble your family was, but not about the money that you make. Money is seen as a sin in the Catholic cultures as opposed to the Protestant cultures. You might not even realize that you are doing it when you mention how much you paid for an expensive watch, but you should know that French people don't really talk about money, so it's a subject that you should try to avoid. Then number 3, being on time when invited to a French home. Yes, this is a faux pas. Never be sharp on time when going to a French home. It is recommended to be 15 minutes late. This is what we call le quart d'heure de politesse. This may vary from one region to another, but arriving early is for sure not a good idea. Saying this, it is recommended to be sharp on time on the workplace. Now, if you're moving to France and don't know where to start, I have prepared a checklist for you. You can download it from the link under this video. Faux pas number 4. Not to control your kids in public spaces, mainly public transport and at the table at the restaurant. This is quite hard on parents, of course, but the French can be judgmental on this. Manners around the table is a great deal in France and we start to learn the eating etiquette from a very young age. In most families, kids eat with their parents, not before. It is a family get-together on a daily basis and a time to learn the social and eating manners. It is not only about getting your daily calorie and energy needs. Then faux pas number 5. Never start eating before everyone has been served. To be honest, we also make fun of this tradition even among the French, but it's usually better to wait. However, do not start by serving yourself a drink. Serve the others and finish with yourself. Whatever happens, the French don't mess with food or food etiquette globally. We barely support people who consider dinner simply putting calories in their body. For us, it is a social pleasure. I have done another video on how to survive a French dinner just here. Then faux pas number 6. Use the word Paris as a synonym of France. Paris city is only 4 million people. If you count the Greater Paris, it's about 10 million people, and people who grew up in the Parisian suburbs do not even like to be called Parisian by other French people. So you see the great reputation that Parisians have in France. You might have guessed that I'm not Parisian. I am from Lyon, but I have amazing friends from Paris and also family members. France counts 67 million people with varied regional culture differences and different lifestyle than the Parisian stressful and busy life. What is true in Paris is often not in the rest of the country. We are proud of our local identity, and even if it is not as strong as in Italy or Spain, for example, France is not a Parisian standardized culture. Then faux pas number 7. Assume people will speak English and should make the effort to speak English. One excellent way to avoid French rudeness is simply to learn the phrase bonjour, excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît, merci in French. Hello, excuse me, please, and thank you in French. Even with a thick accent, using these words you will break the ice and also show respect. We are proud of our language and we don't like that strangers think that everyone will speak their own or English in France. Showing people that you have learned at least the basics greeting in French will make people way more friendly and helpful to you. Then faux pas number 8. Hug a French person. Better to shake hands or make la bise. French people don't hug people outside of family or people that they are very close to. However, la bise is almost mandatory in a woman-woman or man-woman introduction unless it is a professional environment. It has changed with COVID, of course, but it is definitely coming back. For man-man introduction, they usually handshake and in some exceptions do la bise. But don't worry, you can definitely only do a handshake as a man in France. Then faux pas number 9. Complain to French people about France. I am sure you wouldn't like people criticizing your country either. Giving constructive feedback can be done, but it is still like walking on eggs if you don't do it the right way. Also, even though France is a capitalist country, like a big part of the world nowadays, French are proud of their social advantages that are the result of long social fights. And we still defend our quality of life, with, for example, 35 hours a week, maternity leave, or having Sunday off, and still having a productive economy. This obviously means higher social charges or having the shop closed on a Sunday. In France, consumption is seen as an added value, not our way of life. Then faux pas number 10. Speak too loudly when people are around, mainly in the northern half of France. It is normal to be loud in the south of France, but maybe not as much as in Spain. You will of course see loud French people in the northern half of France too, but they will be considered disrespectful by the majority. Keep your tone down and it will avoid weird looks or reactions. Culture, and the French one is no exception, is full of unwritten social rules. These 10 first points are just, in my opinion, the most important ones. Would you add any others? If I have missed any major one, please add them in the comments below. I would love to read them. I hope this video will help you to avoid some French faux pas in France. Thank you for watching. Merci et à bientôt.